Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Brakakwadash. This is y&ymission. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. y&ymission teaches the 100% truth doctrine as GMS, Great Millstone. We got a star that fell, okay? Star has fallen, okay? So we're going to go into the article. I'm going to bring out some scriptures. Just basically this thing between Pete, Trump, and the generals, okay? I was out in Quantico the other day, and I, did a lesson on basically these generals are going to fall by the wayside. These stars are going to fall. And we got the first one subliminally and, timely departing, falling, okay? So in a realm of men, he didn't fall, unhonorably, but basically, he's backing out. Basically, it's looking like, okay, because of dishonorable probably duties or assignments or missions that if he stays in, he may have to carry out. Okay, so they, like I said, it's a divide. Okay, this kingdom is divided. Okay, so we're gonna read it. All right. If my remarks make your heart sink, do the honorable thing and resign. Okay. Yesterday, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth told generals and admirals in all branches of the U.S. military about policy changes and remarked, if what you're hearing makes your heart sink, do the honorable thing and resign. Right. Okay. So we were down at Quantico yesterday bringing out the word. I went into check the video out. Certain part in the video I did talk about these generals are going to be in certain battles, land, sea, air battles, even here domestically, so much words, okay, and everywhere, and some of them are going to fall, okay. So a star has fell, okay, and the timing of it is kind of questionable, but we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, this was already preordained, okay, and this was already set up. So to men with an unspiritual eye, it would seem as a shocker, but to men of the Lord, so servants of the Lord, prophets, elders, okay, and bishops and whatnot, of likewise men of Great Millstone, can see through a spiritual lens that that this is a spiritual thing, okay. And it says today the vice chairman of the U.S. Air Force Global Strike Command did just that, okay. So let's see what it says. Okay. It said, after much reflection and with a full heart, okay, full heart, because what did he say? What did Hegseth say? Pete say? If your heart sank, okay, see, you got to read between the lines. He said with a full heart. So he's saying that, he got the courage, he got heart, all right? He got a full heart. His heart ain't sank. But I have made the difficult decision to request. So he had a request requirement from the United States Air Force for personal and family reasons, see? All right, so yesterday we saw the generals leaving from the certain branches. I have one short, and it looked like it was Army generals. If you can see closely on one of the buses that have their tent removed, you can see about two generals sitting next to each other in the brownish, I believe, formal uniform jacket that they had, but you can clearly see it was a general at glance, and they had other armed forces of generals and admirals from the Navy that they were out there. So I saw the Navy. You'll see that in a full video that I put up. All right. I am deeply honored to have been nominated for Vice Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force and profoundly grateful for the trust and confidence placed in me by the president. Right. See? So that's what I'm saying. It's a divide between the president and the generals, okay? serving alongside the I can't even really see. Exceptional men and women of our Air Force has been the privilege of a lifetime. I'm especially proud of the warrior airmen of Air Force Global Strike Command and everything we have accomplished together. While I'm stepping away from active duty, my commitment to service remains. I look forward to finding new ways to support our Air Force, our national defense, and the incredible people who make it all possible. Thank you to all who supported me throughout this journey. Right. General Thomas Bashiri. I believe that's how you say his last name. Okay, so like I said this yesterday, these stars are going to fall. Okay. Yahweh is removing these generals, or putting these generals will be put in certain moral, ethical, physical, maybe even financial binds that either going to tie them to this Trump, their president. They're going to follow him into the furnace, or they're going to fall by the wayside. Okay. And this man decided to, get out, it looks like, while he has ability to. General Bashiri made it explicitly clear that he is retiring for personal and family reasons. He did not take issue with anything that was said at yesterday's meeting. Of course, they're not going to say that, because they got more class, more decorum, more restraint than your average citizen at these rallies and meetings and stuff. And so this retirement may in fact be for personal and family reasons. The timing of this retirement, however, makes people wonder if Bashiri took issue with the new policies. Whether the general takes issues with the policies or not, he retired with class, grace, and style, honorable in every way. Right. Okay, so General, thank you for your service. All the best to you and your family in the future. So that's what Howell said. Okay, so like I said, these generals, and this is going to start to divide. It's going to be Egyptian against Egyptian. Okay, so right now it's the generals, Revelation 6:13, and the stars of heaven. Okay, so it was a blessing to this man to serve in the Air Force and the military. Okay, he was in heaven, but now he can see hell, or him being assigned to a hellish, mission or whatnot. He's getting out. Okay, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth. Okay, right. All right, so he's a 4-star general, even as the fig tree casteth her untimely figs. Right, this untimely. Right, it was out the blue. I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't expect that. That's why Hal reported on it. Okay, but I, in the video I put out, men of the Lord, servants of the Lord, we said these things are going to come to pass. It's going to be Egyptian against Egyptian and whatnot. Okay, untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And right, with those generals and admirals, heard or what has been asked of them, probably shook a lot of people up, or it's going to shake a lot of people up. And we see this right now. Okay, untimely departures. Okay, for like getting out, retirement. Okay, no matter how it's going to happen, in battle or behind closed doors, these generals, the stars, the stars will fall. Okay, because Babylon is falling. Okay, and their commander-in-chief, which is Trump. Okay, everybody is divided. Okay, so Ecclesiastes 3:8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Right, so it's a time to hate right now. It's a time of war. Okay, so the heavenly Father, it's not a time of peace right now. Okay, remember, Yahweh has taken peace from this place. He came to bring a sword, not peace. All right, so you're going to have people backstabbing each other, literally and figuratively speaking. Okay, the military is not going to be on agreement on everything, and then the branches, and then generals, and then so right now everybody is picking a side. Okay, and nobody's not going to be able to set this out. This ain't going to be, well, I'm not choosing no side. I'm setting this out. No. Okay. The generals that get out, the admirals that get out because they don't like what Trump's doing or wants them to do, they're going to eventually join what? The people. And people had dreams about this, okay? It's been put out, brothers or GMS have put out dreams of visions and dreams that people have been having, 2/3 and heathens have been having about a divide in the country, okay, with the military, okay? So it's going to happen. All right, so right, the Lord is separating this place. He's dividing this place up. Okay, so these people, won't be able to, get along. They won't see eye to eye. Okay, this kingdom is divided, and so you gotta have a side that's gonna leave the military, and you gotta have a side that's gonna stay in with the military, with the feds. Okay, and remember, ICE, the only federal agency, really has got the biggest budget right now, bigger than everybody. And we know ICE is gonna ultimately, go in these airports. Okay, going to they're going in these cities. Okay, they rounded up people, shooting them, people shooting at them, and all this type of crazy stuff. So time is up. Basically, time is up. A time to love and a time to ill. The time of loving has stopped. It is a time to hate. A time of war has started, and a time of peace has ended. Okay? So time's up, man. Time is up for this place, man. The men of the Lord, servants of the Lord, have been telling you, Ecclesiastes 10:30. The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. Okay, and that's how Trump even got on the scene. Okay, by rich men. Okay, and himself. Okay, the elites put him on. Okay, and then the people, you 2/3 and you heathens, honored him for his riches. Okay, you didn't do enough digging. You didn't connect the dots fast enough. Okay, you didn't do enough research. Okay, everybody's a researcher now since these last, 5 years. Okay, let me research the internet. Everybody's a motherfucking researcher now. Okay, but it's too late. All right, you all honored Trump because you said that in his first term, he was a billionaire and he knows how to run businesses. So he's going to get the company. America, Babylon the Great is a company. He's going to get Babylon the Great, America, back on the books, back on schedule. All right. And look, you all honored the rich man for his riches. And now you 2/3 and heathens are getting what? Buyer's remorse now. Okay. You didn't listen to the men of the Lord, okay? The prophets. You didn't listen to GMS. You didn't listen to the elders of Great Millstone. You didn't listen to the whistleblowers. You didn't listen to the conspiracy theorists, okay? You all didn't listen. All right? You 2/3 and you heathens and Babylon the Great, America, didn't listen. So now you all got buyer's remorse. Okay, all hell is about to ensue, and this country is being brought down and broken down by your man, by your man, Trump. Because what? The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. See? So the people that, were out there, the men of the Lord, servants of the Lord, out there on the highways and byways, they've been out there for decades, years, starting with Great Millstone, people that was in the government and trying to warn you all and let it be known and releasing stuff and documents, whistleblowers and stuff, okay? You didn't listen, all right? You just wanted them, you just like, okay, well, that's a skill, they can do, you know what I'm saying? But it said the rich man is honored for his riches. So you all heard billionaire, tax breaks, make America great again, no to Hillary Clinton, and Sleepy Joe. And you all fell for it. Okay? Fell for it. All right? But, and these military men, these vets, they're poor, of course, and they've been warning. They were in the system, okay. And Esau did a poll. He did a poll on his own system, and it was said that basically more than half of the veterans would not recommend their family members to join the military in these last 5 years. None of the branches. The military has a recruiting problem. All branches do. Okay, because these people, the vets, these poor vets and whatnot, okay, they told you what it was. But you all honored Trump. You 2/3, you heathens, okay, you honored Trump, the rich man. And he's just the face. He's the fall guy. It's Netanyahu and those fake Israelites and Amalek. That's the real culprit. That's who's really running America. All right. And who's dictating her policies and whatnot. Babylon the Great, this whore's policies. All right. So now they putting the pressure on Trump. And Trump is putting the pressure on, Netanyahu's putting the pressure on Trump. And now Trump is putting the pressure on Pete. Okay? And Pete's putting the pressure on the generals. See? Shit rolls downhill. All right? All shit rolls downhill. And because it's rolling downhill, it's going to get bigger and bigger. Okay? And it hit a general, and the general fell. Okay? Now, the specifics of why he fell doesn't matter. The point is that star fell. That's why I said I'm out there with the stars. All right? And my man resigned. And the other man was like, okay, yeah, if you got a problem with what we need you to do, you need to choose a side. You can either leave, get your orders, and do what we ask you to do, or you can resign like a punk. That's probably what he tried. You gotta read between the lines. You ain't got no heart, but he put full of heart. You see what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna go against my moral code or against the people. That's what that said. That's what that letter, looks like. You gotta read between the lines. You gotta understand what's going on. Okay, men of the Lord, servants of the Lord, are gonna understand these things. All right. That's something else. Yeah. Ecclesiastics, okay, 9:15. Now there was found in a poor wise man, now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Right? It's a soldier delivered the city. Okay, from what? Destruction. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Right. So you got tons of military vets, okay, all over this country that have risked their lives for these cities, okay, Babylon the Great, for this country, okay, and nobody remembers them. Nobody knows them, okay, all right. See? Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Yeah, some of them are etched in stone in memorials throughout DC. Yeah, some of them from different eras, but it was a lot more others, that have done quote unquote service for this country. All right, and you won't never hear of them or don't know their story. All right, so Ecclesiastes 9:16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Right, better than a mighty man. Right. Yahweh always talks about that, having wisdom. Wisdom is number 3. Wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised. Right. So you got the prophets out there on the highways and byways and on the information superhighway bringing out this word for decades, starting with the apostles and elders and bishops, a great millstone all the way down. Okay. And you all have despised them. And the 2/3 are despising, the true house of Israel is despising the men of the Lord even more now, because they're saying why they're denouncing being Israelite and whatnot. Okay, so the men that bring out this truth are despised. The men that have died or risked their life for this country, those 2/3 men and 2/3 heathen, are despised. Okay, see? Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, right? And his words are not heard, right? So the service of the Lord, the soldiers out there that are soldiering on for the Lord, okay, they're despised, their words are not heard, okay, because this is a spiritual battle. So on the spiritual side, Yahweh has men out there doing the spiritual work. And then on the left-hand side, the carnal side, then you got these vets, these 2/3 and these heathens, these vets. Okay, a lot of them have blown off, lost their limbs, lost their mind, been experimented on, lost certain senses or abilities, okay, for you ungrateful Babylonians, okay? And you will never know it. You Babylonians, baloney, okay? These Babylonians, because you're full of shit. You're baloney. That's what baloney is. It's just a whole bunch of shit from cow and pig parts, okay, flattened and made into a piece of meat. That's what it is, baloney. It's the leftover bullshit from these animals that we ain't really supposed to be eating. It's defiled food. We eat other food defiled among the Gentiles. But anyway, right. The poor man then said, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised and his words are not heard. Okay, so we got wars going on spiritually. We got wars about to go on and going on carnally. And you fucking fools are not listening to nobody. That's why Yahweh Shah is going to catch everybody with their pants down, and he's going to pull up on the scene when everybody least expect it, and everybody is going to get their reward, and they're going to be looking stupid too. All right? That's why in all these dreams, everybody, it start off a nice day, and then all hell breaks loose, and the next thing you know, they saying people running in all directions is chaotic. Right, because he caught you with your pants down because you all don't listen. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Right, and these wise men, okay, great millstone, okay, apostles and elders and bishops, okay, all the way down, okay, are wise men, okay, and their wisdom is being heard quietly, okay. It's not enough people that know about the truth. The truth has went out, but a lot of people aren't taking heed to the warnings and of the wise counsel of these men, a great millstone. Okay, so you gonna be asked out, not them, not the men that have been trying to warn you for decades and years, and in these cities, okay, especially New York. All right. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Right. And like I said, you all are fools because the 2/3 and heathens of this country are fools. So everybody hears Trump. That's all everybody been talking about. Trump. More than the cry of him. He's crying and whining. Don't they say Trump a big baby? He cry and whine about everything. Woo, woo, woo. And he's speaking for Netanyahu. Woo, woo, woo. More than a cry of him that ruleth among fools. And he can do all that because he's ruling among fools. Trump is ruling among fools. All right. So you through. All right. So I just wanted to bring that out. A star did fall, and more stars are going to fall by the wayside. And when I say stars, I'm talking about generals. 1 star is all the way up to 5-star generals, okay? All right, and admirals too. All right, they're going to pick a side. That's what I'm trying to say. They're going to pick a side. All right, they're going to either pick the people or they're going to stick with the feds. All right, so with that, I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem, Shalom.